Good morning, everybody, and welcome. We are going ahead and going to get started with our webinar, Handling Stressors with Resiliency. My name is Danielle Tran, and I'll just be going over a quick overview and just a quick little bit of housekeeping. This webinar is being recorded, as you heard, so if you are staying, that means you acknowledge that you accept that it's being recorded. It will be posted on our YouTube channel within the week for you to view if you happen to miss anything or you would like to share with a friend or a family member. We do have two other speakers that are going to be on with us today. And then after everyone has their chance to speak, we will have a virtual Q&A panel where you can ask questions using that Q&A portion down at the bottom. So if you hover down on your tools, you should see a little button that says Q&A. And that's where you can ask your questions. You can ask them anonymously, and our presenters will go ahead and address those. You'll also be receiving lots of wonderful resources in the chat. And so that's primarily what we'll be using that chat for. Please use the Q&A for your questions. So as I mentioned before, my name is Danielle Tran. I am a training coordinator with the California Department of Veteran Affairs. And I'm just going to give you a brief overview of what CalTAP is. So we are here to inform and connect veterans of all eras to their earned state and federal benefits. And we do that through our 5 pathways: core curriculum, education, employment and entrepreneurship. And then that 5th pathway for our service providers is to make sure that those who are also serving vets have the best resources to be successful. So we do ask that you guys provide us with your non-DoD email. That way that just lets us continue to inform and connect you to everything. So if there's any updates, changes, or if you know a new veteran, someone who's new to it and who hasn't heard of these benefits, you can also share what's going on and make sure that they stay connected as well. You can register on My Calvet, which is at our Calvet website, calvet.ca.gov. You can also follow us on social media. As you see there, you can hover over one of those links using your camera, on your smartphone, and you can go ahead and follow us on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn or Instagram. Like I said, we do have a YouTube channel that does have all of our previously recorded webinars, so you can view them there. And we also ask that you go ahead and fill out our webinar survey. That lets us know how we can better improve our webinars to make sure that we're getting all the greatest information for you and utilizing your time the best way possible. So on the CalTAP page, you can go into those core curriculums and you can browse that and go through it at your own pace in order to get all of the information there. And you can also be directed to our webinar page that has our previously recorded webinars there. You can do that on the website as well. So here are your California benefits. Again, this is not the point of our webinar here today. So I just want to give you a brief snapshot of these and let you know that if you would like any more information on any of these topics, you can feel free to reach out to anyone on the CalTAP team, browse our website, or look for a webinar on one of these topics on our YouTube channel. You can also find more information in the Veterans Resource Book, which will be sent to you via the chat. You also would have had access to it via Eventbrite. And then we also want to make sure that you stay familiar with va.gov. That's the main website of where your veteran benefits are going to be coming from at the federal level. We strongly encourage you guys to stay completely informed because anything that gets changed, it's going to be here. They change things all the time, and we like to make sure that we're on this website as well to make sure we have the best information for you. And that's going to conclude my portion of the presentation. You can feel free to email me at danielle.tran@calvet.ca.gov if you have any other questions. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Anthony. He is your local interagency network coordinator, and he will go over what he does.
Well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be with all of you today. I'm going to talk to you briefly about what I do as an interagency network coordinator in the Ventura County, Los Angeles County area. Next page, please. So as you can see on this map, there are actually 8 of us statewide, and we live in the respective color boundaries that you see on your screen. My particular area is the one on the bottom, toward the bottom in the turquoise color, and I cover, as I mentioned, the Los Angeles and Ventura County areas. As a result, I have responsibility of, in rough numbers, nearly 300,000 veterans who reside in that area. All of the other links in the respective regions have similar numbers, and we all work and live in that area. So as you can see, we have individuals who are in the San Diego Imperial County area, the Orange County area, the Inland Empire extending all the way to Mono County. We have people in an individual in the Central Valley area, Central Coast area, the Bay Area, and then Northern California area. Next page. The reason that we are in these areas is so that we can provide actual individual assistance to you as best that we can. We have such a large area that we cover, and part of our job is to get to know all of the resources. So we attend a lot of association meetings. We attend meetings with the various resource centers at the colleges, meetings on various levels with state and nonprofit. And what that allows us to do is make referrals to you should you have a particular question about benefits or how to get benefits, whether they're federal, state, city, county, nonprofit. We have a pretty good understanding on how to do that. Most of us as well do presentations on basis where we're presenting to soon to be separated military members as well as National Guard and Reserve. We additionally provide assistance should there be a local emergency. And we kind of act as the voice of CalVet and veterans statewide when we're called upon in our local areas. Next page. Now, specifically, we work with EDD. We work with a number of nonprofits who work with employment. We work with the America's Job Centers. We work with the DOL. We also work with a number of agencies that are state, like DOR, Department of Rehab, and also our county veteran service offices at the county level. They, in fact, act as the hands and feet of CalVet, where a number of benefits are actually administrated there, to include the CalVet fee waiver and the California driver's license with veteran designation. Additionally, we work often with our respective VA counterparts in the healthcare section, the benefits, and the cemetery sections. Next page. So to sum it all up, if you're looking to find someone who can give you an overall view and who has a pretty good understanding of the overall services and knows individuals at specific levels, please contact your respective link. And this is my information for the Los Angeles Ventura County area with my email and my cell mobile number. And I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you very much. I'll turn it back over.
Thank you, Anthony. All right, everybody, we're going to go ahead and get into the meat of our presentation with Adrian Mendoza. Go ahead, Adrian.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Yes, my name is Adrian Mendoza. I am an intern currently working with the U.S. Vets Outside the Wire. I'll talk to you guys about stress, everyday stress, how our body copes with stress, how you can improve your situation, and how you can manage stress and not let it overwhelm you. Slide, please. So objectives for today: define stress, learn what causes stress, identify the signs of stress and the effects on the body, and of course, coping with stress. Next slide, please. Okay, so what's stress? I can read you guys the textbook definition of stress, but just think about it for yourself. Think about a situation in your life that has been challenging, that has put pressure on your body, that has put pressure on your mind. That right there is stress. Anything, any event, any stimulus that causes a strain, tension on your body and mind, and then it provokes a response from your body, whether it's a healthy response or whether it's a negative response. Next slide, please. Let's take you back. Let's take you back to military days, back to before you transition from civilian life. Remember the moment when you were about to leave the military? What kind of stressors did you experience? One day you're working at the motor pool, the next thing they tell you, hey, you're about to transition to civilian life, or you're re-enlisting or you're not re-enlisting. What were you thinking? Go back and think about the things that went through your mind. Will you be able to relate to others? Would you be able to fill up an application to go back to work, back to school? How about the structure? Military structure is a little bit different than civilian structure. Did you guys learn how to fill up healthcare applications? How to submit your healthcare applications, how to submit your dental health care. And how about family? How do you talk to your family? You know, all those events that happen in your life, because I know they happen to me, uh, could produce stress in your life. And again, your body's going to react in different ways. Next slide, please. So here you are, modern day stress. Look at the picture in front of you. Which one can you associate with the most right now? And currently right now, you have so many things in life that's happening right now. Relationships, school, the price of gasoline going up, transitioning from, if you're a student, transitioning from on campus to online, traffic, money, children, and look at the little bug in the corner over there. All that we're dealing with every day right now. And everything has an impact in our lives, and everybody deals with it a little bit different. So how do you deal with all the stuff that's going on in your life? I'll give you a moment to process the picture. And if you can identify with one of the pictures. Next slide, please. Okay, so that picture on the previous slide, you know, how does that affect your body? You know, we can cut it down into 4 different categories: your body, your mind, behavior, and emotion. Out of all those things, which one do you identify yourself with the most? Well, look at your body. Do you get headaches, frequent infections, muscle tension, fatigue, irritation, shortness of breath? How about on the mind side? You know, you worry, you're overthinking things, hard concentrating, nightmares, indecisions, you know? And how about down to the emotional side? Loss of confidence, irritability, depression, anger, anxiety, apprehension. And look at the behavioral side. Accident prone, overeating, undereating, loss of sex drive, drinking more, sleepiness, breathlessness, smoking a little bit more. Next slide. And this is what's going on in your body. This is just a quick example of stress on the brain or on the mind. You got the stress situation, it enters your nervous system through your brain, you know, and then here the chain of events that happens. Your body is releasing hormones to help you navigate the stress. Now, it can be a healthy response or it can be a negative response, depends on the situation, depends on yourself, and depends on the readiness of your body and mind for any particular stressful event. Next slide, please. Okay, so maybe you are or you're not aware of the definition here, distress versus eustress. Well, eustress is healthy stress. Eustress is what gets us ready to take on challenges. You know, eustress is what you experience when you're about to propose to your significant other. You know, eustress gets you ready for the challenge, a motivation. You know, it's a positive challenge. It's exciting. You know, it enhances your productivity, right? You're ready to fill up an application for the job of your dreams. What do you do to get ready for that job, right? You do a little research on the company, right? You practice your speech, your introduction to during the interview. That's eustress. Distress, on the other hand, that's the negative aspect of stress, right? It alters your perception, right? It gives you anxiety, you know, it kind of makes you procrastinate. You're trying to avoid it, right? And it diminishes your performance as well. So just go back into a situation where you experience one or the other. Was it stressful enough to impact you negatively, or was it stressful enough to impact you positively, where you rose to the challenge? Whether you said, I'm gonna overcome this, I'm gonna get ready for this, and I'm gonna move on with the rest of my day. This is right here, distress versus eustress. Next slide, please. Oh, there we go. So like I said before, right? Eustress, you experience energy, it's proportionate to the event that's happening. Distress is kind of like the fight or flight response, where you got a lot of energy, but it goes nowhere. What do you do with that excess energy, right? It kind of overwhelms your system and you tend to overreact. Next slide, please. Okay, so here you are, challenging stress versus healthy stress. If you go through the cycle of healthy stress and it becomes overwhelming to a distressful negative impact, it can easily go into the anger response, right? So when you're experiencing an event and it's something manageable, you go along with it. Again, eustress is motivating, eustress is challenging, but your body is able to adapt in time. When your body is not able to adapt anymore, it becomes distressful to your body, right? And how do you react? Well, the first thing that comes out is anger. Anger, everybody can see. It's hard to hide, whether you say it or whether you say it verbally or you say it with your body language. You come home, have a bad day at work, your significant other might know that you're having a bad day, even though you haven't said anything. Your body tells the truth. Next slide, please. So here we are, right? Again, anger, everybody sees anger. But look at what's underneath the water. What did you experience? Embarrassment, frustration, guilt, disappointment, rejection. You felt offended, you felt hurt. Next slide, please. So here we are. How do we help each other? Because everybody deals with stress differently. Also based on your life's experiences, based on the generation. Here's an example of a World War II veteran and a modern day veteran or modern day soldier. How do we help each other? Again, everybody deals with stress differently. Next slide, please. First thing we want to do is set the scene. I think nowadays commercials are even using this as an example when you see somebody driving to the house and then there's a little bit of chaos in the house and then they stay in the car a little longer to get ready for that stress that's coming up. Same thing with you. You're experiencing stress or something that is becoming overwhelming. Set the scene. How do you deal with that? Well, go to that place that helps you relax, whether it's the beach, whether it's back in time where you heard that you're about to be a parent, or you're about to graduate, or your wedding night, or your wedding day, or when you proposed, or when you had great news, when you were accepted at your favorite or your favorite university, you got the job of your dreams. Go back to that place that makes you happy. That's the start. Next slide, please. Another thing you can do is talk about it. Now, there's a big difference between talking about eventing and emotional dumping, right? You can see the comparisons next to each other, right? Healthy venting, you don't put blame on others, right? You stick to one topic at a time. If there's mistakes that are made, then you own up to those mistakes. Excuse me. You're open to feedback, right? You're open to feedback, and you don't go in circles and circles and circles, repeating the same thing over and over again, right? And you acknowledge other people. You acknowledge the feedback. And in the overall, after talking about it, it feels beneficial. Now, on the other hand, emotional dumping, as you can see, you put the blame on others. It also overwhelms the other person with multiple issues. You're not necessarily addressing the mistakes that were made. Easy to play the victim. not really open to any solutions. You become defensive when you hear the feedback. And then you go back in circles over and over and over again, repeating the same issue. Next slide. Okay, so here we are, positive self-talk, another great thing you can use, know that, oops, you made a mistake. Okay, what do we do with this? We learn from our mistakes, we move on, I like myself still. Yes, I did something bad, but I can fix it. I can address the issue. And these are different examples versus the negative ones. You don't want to say, I'm dumb. You don't want to say, essentially they're put downs. I don't like me. I'm a bad person. I give up. I'll never be able to do this, right? Life's going to throw things at us. What do we do with that information? Next slide. Another great thing you guys can do is certain relaxation exercises. A lot of these things you can do when you're working in the office in the chair, right? Give yourself a big stretch, reach for the skies. Many of us did this while we were serving in the military. Excuse me. Some of these examples are from back on my PT days. Shoulder shrugs, lift your shoulders up, try to touch your ears with them and hold it and then release. Do this a couple of times. Let the muscle tension release. It helps you escape for a moment of what's going on with the situation. Next slide. Again, you can do these things while you're in your desk at work, right? I like the ankle circular that you guys can practice. Just go around while you're sitting down. Same thing with the chair abdominal. You put your hands on your stomach and then you suck in the stomach all the way to the back as far as you can take it, as far as you can tolerate it, and then hold it for a minute or for a couple of seconds and then release. Do that a couple of times. In and out, in and out. These are just simple, basic things you can do to release the tension in your body. Next slide, please. And this was called mindful breathing or abdominal breathing. Now there's a video here that's going to demonstrate how to practice this type of exercise.
There are many types of breathing exercises that we'll practice today. With this program, you will find a variety of resources that you can use as you learn to manage your stress. I'd like to show you a few breathing techniques that you can do simply at your desk or anywhere that you may happen to be in just a few minutes. It's not something that you need to do for another hour a day. It's just something that you can do anytime or any place to take care of yourself. So the first thing I'd ask you to do is take your hands and just press them into your stomach right below your belly button. And then stick your stomach out. Let your stomach fall back down. And again, stick it out, pushing your hands away from your spine. Then just take a normal breath in. Push your hands into your stomach as if you're pushing the air out. Then breathe in and fill your stomach with air. And out. A few more times. Very good. That's a diaphragmatic breath. By doing that, you initiate what's known as the relaxation response and actually change your brain chemistry very quickly. It also helps to pump your lymph and improve your immune function. Now let's try a 3-part breath. So put one hand on your belly and another hand on your chest. So we're going to take a 2-part inhale and then breathe out as if we're breathing out through a straw. So breathe into your belly, then into your chest, hold for just a second, and then breathe out as if through a straw. Belly, chest, straw. One more time, belly, chest, straw. So that gives you a 3-part breath, the diaphragmatic breath, and then when you breathe into your chest, you're actually activating your vagus nerve and calming it. Your vagus nerve touches all the organ systems in your body and can be a tremendous help in your state of mind and your level of perceived stress. Another way to breathe is to just use your hands for a simple motion, to let your hands flow up as you breathe in, and then float down as you breathe out, just to wherever is comfortable, perhaps to the arms of your chair or perhaps down beside you. One more. You may already be able to feel a difference in your energy level or your state of mind. It's so very easy to change your energy and to calm yourself. One more type of breathing is called square breathing. Some people at the VA especially also call it sniper breathing. What we're going to do is breathe in a box. So first, we usually think of breathing as a 2-part operation. We breathe in and we breathe out. We're going to add 2 parts, breathing in, holding, breathing out, holding. So we'll start with just a very simple 2 count, and you can do this to any count that's comfortable for you. So we'll breathe in for 2, hold 2, out 2, hold 2, in 2, hold 2, out 2, hold 2. One more time, in 2, hold 2, out 2, hold 2. Very nice. So now you've learned 4 different kinds of breathing that will just let you slow yourself down and become more present in your day. They affect your immune system, your brain chemistry, and your entire body. You can do these when you're stuck in a meeting, if you're stressed out talking to someone, stuck in traffic or in line, or just any time that you'd like to take a few minutes to relax a little bit. It's also a great way to go to sleep. In general, as a rule of thumb, if you're trying to wake up, you want to breathe in a little bit longer than you breathe out, and perhaps breathe at a more rapid pace. If you're trying to relax, then you want to breathe out a little bit longer than you breathe in, letting yourself slow down. Another nice breathing technique is called ocean breathing. It's like breathing with the waves of the ocean. So ocean breathing, you're going to breathe as if breathing in with a wave coming in and breathing out as the wave goes out. You can picture perhaps standing on the shore of the ocean with your feet in the sand, just watching the water as it comes up and then recedes. Breathing in, breathing out, just like the waves.
Thank you, thank you. So this video, go back one more. So this video, everyone can find at the VA website. You can do a search on the Veteran Health Library. There are a lot of videos like this, not just on breathing, and other other areas of actually healthy living. You know, you got mindful relaxation, kindness meditation as well, and it's all at the VA Health Library. Next slide, please. Same thing with this particular tool. If you click on the link right here, I'll take you to the Calvet's stress management workbook, where you can download the package. It gives you an introduction on stress management goals. It gives you activities to where you can log in and record particular events, your stress level, what were you doing, and what were you thinking, and what helped you relax. And then right here, this is the resources. You can find the video that I just played. You can also find a handbook, and you can find additional resources for employment as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Adrian. That was just an amazing way to relax. So we appreciate you taking us all through that and providing those amazing resources. So at this time, we are going to go ahead and move into our question and answer. If there were any ones that came up in the chat, Jana Adams has been handling that on her side. Jana, do we have any questions, or do you want to address the few that came up in the Q&A portion?
Sure. You know, we don't have any new questions that I haven't answered already, but the few that did come up, one of them, somebody asked about receiving the slides from today, and I'm just about to post them in the chat. If you want to receive an email with it, just send your email in the question and answer tab, and I can email it to you as well after the webinar is over. And then also somebody was asking about the video that we just played, and I went ahead and I posted the link in the chat, and then I posted all of the links that he was talking about, like the workbook, and then also those additional resources that he was just mentioning. I posted those in the chat too. So, but that's pretty much it. No other questions beyond that. Oh,
Great.
actually, wait, hold on. Yes, and I just got your email, ma'am. So I will send this to you afterwards.
Awesome. So if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in there now. I'm just going to go to the next slide to review a few things. Like I mentioned earlier today, we really do value the feedback that you provide to us. And one of the big pieces of feedback that we received over the last few months is to shorten our overview to make sure we have plenty of time for the main portion of our presentation. So that brief overview, that's one of the feedback that we received for many of our veterans. So we really do value your feedback in making sure that we are continuing to improve our program to make sure it benefits you the most. So again, if you have an opportunity today, please go ahead and fill out that survey. You can do it now. I believe Jana will send that in the chat, and Eventbrite will also send you the link with the survey in it as well. And then we do have some more upcoming webinars. This month we have been focusing on mental health. So our final mental health webinar will be next Tuesday on suicide prevention. And then we have partnered with some other schools or colleges and just doing our own presentations as well, where you're free and welcome to join. You can tell a family member or a friend, and we're just going to be going over some education benefits and some information about compensation and claims. So again, even though these are attached to colleges, these webinars are open to any veteran who would like to participate. And then finally, here is the CalTAP email. All of us do answer this. So whether or not you have Jana's direct email or my direct email, everybody on the CalTAP email does have, or CalTAP team, excuse me, does have access to this email. So you can feel free to reach out to us there. You can also give us a call on our 1-800 number. And even though that is a 1-800 number, it will get you directly to either a CalTAP training coordinator or one of the links. We all answer that phone. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to call us there. So I will go back to the question and answer page so that you have our information. Again, I want to make sure you guys have that. And I do see there's some more popping up in the chat. I don't know if those were just comments or if there were questions.
Yeah, I'm just pulling them up right now. Just a couple more emails, a couple thank yous. Yay, I'm so glad you guys enjoyed the information. I know I certainly did. I got a lot out of it. Somebody did ask how long before the recording is on the website. I want to share with veterans that I know. So it'll actually go up on our YouTube page. Sometimes, and please correct me if I'm wrong, Danielle, but I believe sometimes it can take like maybe like a couple weeks, 2 to 3 weeks at the longest, but we do try to get them up as quickly as possible. It's our communications department that actually posts them for us.
Yeah, it's another team. So the recording is actually pretty much available really fast. So it takes them sometimes anywhere from a week or to 2 to 3 weeks, depending on what their load is. But again, feel free to check in with us, either email myself or Jana or the CalTAP email directly if you don't see it within 3 weeks, but definitely keep checking back. We obviously really appreciate you guys sharing it out with anyone who could possibly benefit. So, but yes, it could take anywhere from 1 to 3 weeks. Again, it just depends on our communications team's caseload of what they're doing.
And
that's it.
Oh, and then somebody wanted me to add the YouTube. So I'll put let me just copy and paste the YouTube channel and I'll put that in the chat in just a second. Okay, copy that. Other than that, I think that's it. I think we got everything else covered.
That's awesome. And I definitely, Mike, I see your comment about notifying. If you guys go ahead and join our, get on our mailing list, we are always sending out emails of when we have our events. So we have a monthly newsletter that you can sign up for. Some of you may have already gotten information about this webinar from that newsletter, but definitely if you join My Calvet, we'll get you onto our email listing that will make sure you receive any information on when we have webinars coming up. And we do try to revisit these topics more than once a year. So we, because it's always relevant, especially your mental health. So we will definitely be having this topic again sometime this year. So if you're not already connected with us on My Calvet, just send us your email. We'll make sure we get you on our listserv because we want to make sure that we are staying connected with you. So, okay, so I'm going to leave this on here. I'll go ahead and sign off, but if anyone needs more time to write down information, if they're not going to go ahead and download the PowerPoint presentation, or if you just want some more time to get those links, I will go ahead and sign off. If you have any more questions, feel free to do that. Thank you to our presenters. Adrian, that was amazing and wonderful. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Anthony, for providing your information. And thank you all for joining us today. Have a great day.